Hey everybody, this is Director Jawa, and with the new Jurassic Park Rebirth movie coming out, I thought this is probably the best time to make a tier maker of every single Jurassic Park movie. This will be including Rebirth, and will be starting at the original Jurassic Park. Without further ado, let's get into it. Since we're gonna be doing this in chronological order, the first movie I'm ranking is gonna be the original Jurassic Park. This movie has such great acting, and I love the characters. I think they all do really great. It also was really groundbreaking for the time, which is CGI that looked really real back then and looks mediocre today. It also used a lot of animatronics, which is really nice, and as you'll see later, other newer movies also use. And it really just was super groundbreaking. I love the idea of dinosaurs coming back, which is why I like the franchise. And Colossal Bioscience is in real life gonna be doing something similar to that. I love this scene, with the T-Rex and him. It looks really, really great. I love the movie uses lighting to its effect. I also really do like all the animatronics, like I said. I think it also has a great story and has room just for sequels because it's a very basic concept, dinosaurs attacking people, and as you know, there are a lot of sequels to this in this franchise. I really do like this original movie, and by far, it is the best. Next up is The Lost World. This one, it's not my favorite. It's probably going to go much lower than the original. It does not really feature any exciting new thing. It's pretty much just Malcolm and his family, some of his buddies, going on this adventure to another island, which can be cool, don't get me wrong, but really it features nothing different, so I'm going to have to put this movie at E, sadly. This next one is Jurassic Park 3. I think this one's actually pretty good. I just watched it, so I'm going to have a lot more insight than some of the others. Sorry about that. This one I'm going to go really in-depth on. So, what happens is at the start, we go back to Dr. Grant. It shows what he's doing. And he gets recruited to go back to a dinosaur island by these people who turn out to be con artists, which the man's wife, oh my gosh, she is so annoying. She just keeps screaming through the entire thing. It's really annoying. Anyway, the movie is pretty good because you have the Spinosaurus and you also have a couple pterodactyls, which were new for the franchise, and Spinosaurus we do see in Rebirth, but other than that, it's pretty new. It's the only time we ever see it. It also has some nice T-Rex action with velociraptors and a boy hiding out in a little bunker. This one is really fun, I think. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, that lady is annoying, but it's probably going to knock it down a grade or two. But it's really good. It's not as good as some of the others. We're at the point where I would say these movies are starting to get pretty medium. They're all pretty good, and this one is the first one like that. I think this one is really, really good. Of course, the first never as good as the first Jurassic Park movie, but still, this one is really fun, and I really, really, really like it. I'm doing a pretty different tier maker where you can only actually put one on each slot. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see how it's going to work. We don't have room for every Jurassic Park movie, but I'm pretty sure we can stack them maybe. This one's going at B. I think it's pretty good. Next up is the first Jurassic World with Owen and Clare. This one is really, really good. Not as good as the original, but very close. I think it has a nice, complete story. You also have Blue and all the raptors, which is really where we take a really deep dive into the raptors. We previously see them only as these bad guys, but now it really does a deep dive into them. Of course, you have Chris Pratt, who's really good in this movie. Claire also does really good. This movie is very, very nice and well executed. I think a lot of its scenes are really good. And unlike the original Jurassic Park, which probably my biggest problem are the kids who get really annoying a lot, especially that girl. But these two boys, they're not annoying. I think they're not annoying. The little boy does not scream his head off every second. Owen, also, like I said, it's really good. The scene whenever he's on his motorcycle with the raptors and the talks. That's really nice. The Indominus is a great villain because unlike the new ones like the D-Rex that's literally like the height of a 7-story building and can eat a helicopter, the Indominus Rex still feels closer to the T-Rex, that's for sure. And this movie is it's really nice because it's a whole new trilogy and it gave us 2 other movies which are not as good as this one, but still very good. And I think it's a great continuation on the original Jurassic Park franchise. So, this is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This one I remember pretty fondly. So the entire idea is a volcano is on this island and it kills like all the dinosaurs on it, and they're like the last population of dinosaurs. But a bunch of people take a bunch of people take the dinosaurs off the island for illegal black market selling. And so we see that in the auction house of the basement of a guy who cloned his daughter. It's pretty strange, but it is pretty cool too. We can see the daughter in our next world, Jurassic World Dominion, but we also have the Indoraptor, which is like a hybrid of the Scorpius Rex and Indominus Rex. The Indoraptor is pretty cool. I mean, its whole entire thing is it's like laser pointed. If you point something with a laser, it'll like kill that thing, which we see in Jurassic World Dominion. There's this annoying teenager. I feel like in every movie there's a character I say is annoying, but in it, he just stands for comic relief. Although he's fun. He's not the worst. He's nice. I think that this movie greatly benefits by the fact of the auction house and like the illegal black market selling, because I think that is just so cool, you know. In this like big mansion, I think it would be so cool, and I think it's one of the more realistic ones in the fact that I think if dinosaurs were still around here, I'm sure people would create a black market for them for like their skin or teeth or whatever. So I really do like this movie, and I think it's fun, although not as good as some of the others that we've looked at. This is our final Jurassic World movie, and it is Jurassic World Dominion. I really, really like this movie. I know that's probably controversial because if you just look on the internet, I know it's not the internet's favorite, but I really do like it. I think it's really cool how it brings back a bunch of the older characters that we saw in the original Jurassic Park. And also, I love its color scheme for the movie poster. Like this, it looks so cool. It brings back Owen. It brings back the clone girl. It brings back the Jurassic Park cast, even Malcolm. It brings back this pilot. Well, no, it didn't bring her back, but she's new and she's fun. You have Owen, who's always great. You have Claire, who's also always great. I really do like this movie, and there's a big reason why. I really like some of the newer Jurassic Park movies because it shows how the dinosaurs adapt with human like civilization. In fact, Universal knew this very well. So they actually on YouTube, you can check this out after you watch this video. There's actually a video made by Universal that just is like 15 minutes or like maybe it was like 30 of just straight dinosaur encounters in human, like a mountain biker running into like a stegosaurus or something. It's really fun. I really like that concept of this movie. And of course, dinosaurs attack. This movie does have a very inaccurate thing. That's this dinosaur in one fact. Okay, it has feathers. That's pretty nice. But on the other hand, it can somehow swim at like 50 miles an hour, which makes absolutely zero sense. It can swim faster than Owen, that's for sure. Which does not make sense, but Park movie. Yeah, it's really cool. And this movie actually uses a lot of animatronics. Like I said, there's Malcolm. You can see, not on this poster, but the Giganotosaurus is also in it, which is like really big. You also have that dinosaur from Dino with the big long claws, as I know it. This movie is really fun, although it does play into the thing of nostalgia driven movies these days. I think still pretty good, especially for the fact that, like I said, it uses real animatronics. That was a real dinosaur. Like, you can see it on screen right now. I think that is so cool. A lot of it was actually real. Of course, some of it couldn't be, but a good chunk of it was, and I think that's really cool. So, you tell me your thoughts about this movie in the comments. Before I rank, I just want to give a shout out to this scene. I think this scene's also pretty cool, where it recreates the Jurassic Park logo. I think that's really cool. But now we can move on. Now I'm gonna put this one at A, right behind Jurassic World, because I actually really like this movie. So now let's move on to the final movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, for me, Jurassic World Rebirth is a pretty interesting movie. I recently saw it in theater, and I think it has some highlights, but definitely a lot of lowlights. More lowlights than highlights, I would say. Starting off with its animal logic thinking. And what that means is, for other Jurassic Park movies, maybe a T-Rex would attack some people. And a lot of times, there are a couple cases, but a lot of times, the T-Rex would attack people because, well, it's hungry, or, like, the people are doing something that bothers it. But in this, a T-Rex attacks people, or this sort of family, which it does focus on, because the T-Rex is eating a huge carcass, probably one of the massive sauropods that we are. It's a huge carcass that probably weighs tons, and they're eating these people who probably weigh a lot less than tons. And I really do not understand that. There's also scenes where animals will chase these people through vents and literally everything imaginable to get these people, whenever in that time they could have eaten a lot much more slower moving thing, which they do not have to expend as much energy to get. That does not make sense to me personally, and it really should not make sense to anyone. If you take away all the obvious factors like that, the movie has an interesting story, which is a bunch of adventurers go to an experiment island to get some of the DNA from these animals and stuff to make a cancer preventing serum. It really doesn't make sense though, because they feature the Quetzalcoatlus, which does not make sense. It just doesn't make sense, because the Quetzalcoatlus, I mean, it's huge, right? It's massive in size, but really any whale pretty much weighs more than it. So that's dumb. And then a Brachiosaurus, if they really want to do biggest animals, that would also be up here. And yeah, Mosasaurus makes sense. That scene's fine. Although I feel like scenes such as the Titanosaurus one are also good. The T-Rex one makes zero sense. And there's also these really weird bird things in it, which I just do not like. Also, Scarlett Johansson is in this, and that just, she's a great actor in a bunch of stuff, like the way I best know her from Black Widow. But she's just Black Widow in this, and I feel like she didn't do the best acting. I feel like the most believable character in this was probably this teenage boy, because there's the dad in it. It focuses on this adventure party and this family, and the dad cares about his kids so much, and he brings him into this Mosasaurus infested waters and T-Rex infested area, which just makes absolutely zero sense. And he just brings them into this terrible, very dangerous zone, and he does this to cross the ocean or something. I do not know. It is really a bad explanation, and I feel like it makes zero sense. The only good character is that teenage boy, and at that, we don't even see him that much. So really, this movie is it's not my favorite, but it does have some good parts. I feel like the D-Rex, another hybrid. It wasn't meant to be a hybrid. It was a failed attempt at creating a T-Rex. Quetzalcoatlus is always nice and stuff, and the Titanosaurus is also pretty cool. I'm gonna put Jurassic World Rebirth. I think this is probably gonna be controversial. A lot of people like this movie. I do not like this movie. I'm gonna be putting it on E tier, in front of Lost World. I know some people would put it much higher. Some people may put it much lower. But this is where I put it. This is how I rank all the Jurassic franchise. I think it definitely should, probably after this trilogy. It's cool to keep seeing Jurassic Park movies. It really is. But, Sequels are fun. They're fun. But the thing about them is they continue a story unnecessarily. Jurassic World does not have to be continued once these next two movies are out. Because Jurassic World Rebirth, it's its own trilogy. We already had World, we already had Park, now it's Rebirth franchise. And once that is over, I don't think they should make another franchise. It's fun to see dinosaurs, but it's not so fun to see the same movie repeated and repeated and repeated. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, and have a good day.